9 experienced hikers entered the frozen mountains of the Soviet Union, and they never made it back. When rescuers finally found their tent, something was terribly wrong. It was January 1959. 9 young hikers had traveled deep into the Ural Mountains, searching for adventure in one of the most unforgiving places on Earth. They were experienced. They knew the mountains. They knew the cold. Their destination was a remote mountain pass. The group moved through deep snow, carrying everything they needed to survive. They stopped to study the terrain and eventually chose a place to build their camp. They had no idea what the night would bring as darkness fell. The temperature dropped and the wind grew stronger. The 9 hikers finished setting up their tent and disappeared inside. Outside, the mountains became completely silent. Inside the tent, everything appeared normal. Their equipment was there. Their clothes were there. Their personal belongings were there. Nothing suggested that they were about to leave. Then something happened. The tent was suddenly abandoned, not carefully packed, not prepared for a journey abandoned. The hikers left behind important clothing and equipment and stepped into the freezing darkness. Outside, a powerful winter storm was raging. Visibility was almost nothing. The hikers moved away from their campsite, leaving footprints behind them in the snow. But why? Why would 9 experienced mountaineers leave their shelter in the middle of a freezing night? Behind them, their tent disappeared into the darkness. Ahead, there was nothing but snow, wind, and mountains. Their footprints continued down the slope. Then the storm began covering them, and the mountains swallowed the trail. By morning, the campsite was completely deserted. The tent remained standing. Their belongings were still inside, but the hikers were gone. Days passed, and eventually a search party entered the mountains. The rescuers finally reached the campsite. What they found raised even more questions. The tent was still there, but something about it immediately looked wrong. There was a large opening in the canvas, and the hikers were nowhere to be found. Inside the tent, their equipment remained. Their personal belongings remained. It looked as if they had left in a hurry, but there was something even stranger. The opening in the tent appeared to have been made from the inside. Outside, the rescuers discovered footprints, several sets of them. They led away from the tent toward the forest. The rescuers followed the trail step by step, deeper into the frozen wilderness. The trail eventually reached a large cedar tree. The snow around the tree had been disturbed. The rescuers searched the area carefully, but the deeper they went, the less sense the scene seemed to make. The search continued. Every discovery created another question. Why had the hikers left? Why had they separated? And why would experienced climbers move through such dangerous conditions without proper protection from the cold? There was no simple answer. The mountains offered no explanation. Only wind, snow, and silence. Investigators began recording everything they could find, but the mystery was only beginning. Over time, different explanations appeared. Some believed the hikers had been caught by a sudden movement of snow. Others suggested the extreme weather had caused panic. And some theories were far stranger. One possibility was a powerful snow slab. A sudden shift on the mountain could have created fear, forcing the hikers to escape their tent in darkness in freezing temperatures, without taking everything they needed. Another possibility was the weather itself. Mountain conditions can change in minutes. A clear slope can become impossible to navigate.